they've also got to get everybody transferred over. That's going to be a confusing.
Yeah,
Oh, I lost my wallet. What do I have? I mean,
and we know,
just see that's going to be a cluster
yeah,
of
we know how
all.
these things work. There's going to be issues. Something's going to go wrong. So yeah, I'll wait till that happens, and I probably will bite back into it again because I do believe AI is the future.
Well, overall, anybody else got any thoughts on this before we look at? I'd like to give a quick snapshot of everybody's favorite bit of data from their sessions. But this was kind of definitely a different style than we've seen before, this amalgamation union project. So, did you anybody help feel that would made it a little bit harder to view?
Felt a little
Well,
different. Yeah, I think it felt a little different. Just trying to kind of zone in on exactly what was going on. Like the information kind of felt a little different, like things coming together, having to do with ownership and a monopoly, things like that came up in my session. That's not kind of the typical kind of data that I get. Um, but this is the biggest topic right now. I mean, AI is kind of the biggest thing out there right now in the market. So a lot of people want to know about related crypto projects. So interesting, interesting.
When I was looking at this target originally, I did make me wonder if, because, there's so many small coins and all these little companies out there, if we are going to be seeing a lot more consolidation of these, hey, let's team up and form something else in order to survive as things kind of get, you got the big guys, but I think all those little players are going to have to start teaming up. So I think I would like to do a round robin and like to see what everybody really liked, their favorite part of their data for this session. So let's start with you, Sean.
yeah, so my session really centered around the merger of the enterprises here. And so yeah, so I got these two guys shaking hands. It felt like it was going to work out in the end. I did see that initially there was going to be a dip, but over the long term there would be growth. So yeah, the fact that this project is, a bunch of AI companies merging together, that makes a lot of sense given the data I got. So it felt good, felt like it was going to work out in the long run, but like the other viewers caught on as well, it seems like it's not going to start out that way.
Nope, great session. Naeem, what was your favorite bit of data?
My favorite bit was this one here with the some type of being dropped or canceled or somehow blocked in terms of trading, causing a kind of a sinking feeling there, and the news of Coinbase opting out of the merger. That was probably my favorite part of the data there that just happened within the last few days. So
Yeah, that's probably a big kick in the teeth. So, Dick, what would you like to share as your favorite moment in your session?
My best part was the where I realized this was something new that didn't have much of a track record, and we were looking to see if it was going to be a unicorn. And I did have some up movements in my charts, so I think there's some potential there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Derek, what was your favorite bit?
Yeah, I saw once I was in S5, a team of people working together, well-laid plans, development's already complete. They're working out some of the bugs to what they're working on. And it was a kind of a broad stakeholder leadership meeting, a series of well-known projects, and overall, I think AI is in its infancy. If you remember Moore's law, which is computer power doubles and takes up half the amount of space about every 18 months to 2 years, that has never slowed down. And so now we're on the precipice of artificial intelligence. There's a requirement at this point that we leverage artificial intelligence to keep up the pace with Moore's law. And so now what we're seeing is the first instance of artificial superintelligence coming online. And I think we're going to see more of this. So, for all of our subscribers, this is a perfect opportunity to be an early adopter and hold for the long term. And it might have a shaky foundation early on, which to me, it's an opportunity to buy.
All right, Edward, what were you the most pleased with your session?
Probably the rendering that turned into be part of the logo and the idea of a tri-powered system. I like that part probably the most. But as far as the project, what I'm looking at from the session and looking at the target is that it's going to get itself set and going next year. So be a kind of a settling point, probably for the rest of this year, I would imagine. And then next year it'll start doing what it's going to do. I think it's a great idea. Those are three of the top AI projects out there, and combining their expertise from all the different angles that they come at this artificial intelligence from, I think is going to make a very strong project. So I think it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I definitely think you hit on, and I think everybody's charts and sessions really kind of corroborate the fact that this doesn't have a rocky, it has definitely a rocky start, and it's going to be a much longer term, especially looking into next year and beyond for this to start being a higher performer type thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, merging, getting onto a new contract is a pain. I'm sure it's a pain in the butt. That's probably why Coinbase said, we can do one, we're not doing three. It's like, come on, man, this is crazy. That may be why they decided not to do it.
Do you guys think that they're going to come back later when everything's all switched over and then go, okay, now that you guys have got that all settled, come back in?
Well, from what I understand, they don't want to do the swapping part. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I'm sure they're going to carry the project. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. I'm under the impression that they didn't want to be responsible for the switching of all the tokens around and all this, and all kind of stuff. I could be wrong about that, but that's how I understand.
No, I agree. Once ASI is a valid stable coin, Coinbase is going to jump all over it. Otherwise, they're going to lose revenue. They'd be fools to not get involved themselves. And it's also not an invalid business strategy to want to stay away from labor-intensive changes to coins, right? If you're going to force me to go in and recalculate a bunch of stuff just because you're doing something, I might just be like, nope, see you when it's all stable.
Yeah, call me when you've got that all sorted out.
Yeah. Come back when it's ASI.
That's the thing with cryptos, there's, if you get into this crypto space, especially if you're in a DeFi world and all that kind of stuff, you have to pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, the project changes, and if you're not aware of the change, you could be out of luck.
Left holding an empty bag.
You're left holding a bag that ain't worth anything, and you still got a bunch of coins in there for sure. That definitely happens.
All right, Daz, what was your favorite part of your session?
I think it was the early ideograms that showed that when we were doing this blind, that the target was going to have problems for the first few months, and then it was going to get better in 25. I think that perfectly mirrors what this target is. But yeah, I think as the guy sentiment is that for the long haul, 25 onwards, this should be a solid proposition.
All right, well, I think that we have definitely hit this project. Seems kind of interesting. It's a bit of a I'd say that the data seemed pretty consistent, I think, and I thought you guys all had a very good target contact. That's I think all I have. So any final thoughts before we close the book on this one?
It's one to watch. AI is the coming thing. There we go.
All All right. Well, that is it from us. Thank you all for watching and supporting us here at the Future Forecasting Group, and we will see you next time. Bye.